Hello, 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 everyone. It's Diana. Hello, everyone. It's Diana, and I am here with you tonight on Wednesday night with another jump into journaling. And I am going to share with you some fun stuff tonight. We are going to do some stenciling, and we're going to play with some stencil butters tonight. And I thought that we might. Hello, Erin. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's a kind of a cool, yucky kind of. It's kind of a cool, yucky day today. A little bit of rain, a little bit of drizzle. Kind of a good night to be in tonight, guys. In the craft studio tonight. It's a good night actually to be kind of doing this kind of stuff tonight. Hi, Judy. And that's actually a kind of the theme that I have going tonight. Hello, Lynn. Welcome. So tonight we're going to play with some stencils. Um, isn't this lovely? A blank journal page in front of us tonight. A little daunting sometimes, I think. Hi, Deborah. We never quite sometimes know what we're going to do with a blank page staring us in our faces, do we? I never know what we're going to do. We never know what we're going to write. We never know what we're going to play with. Can be a little too much sometimes. I kind of showed a bit of a preview in the picture of what I was going to do tonight. I mentioned that I was going to play with some of the new Stemperia stencils. I'm not sure if you can actually see that very well with the. Here, I'll pull the book out of the way. Maybe you can see a little bit better. So that's one of the two new Stemperia stencils that just came in. So this is the Vintage Library Corners and Embellishments. Hi, Carolyn. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us, which was just too pretty for me to resist. I always look for these kinds of things to do with my journaling, along with everything else, of course. But in particular, I'm looking for things that I can play with and play with you guys when I do this kind of stuff. Hi, Michelle. And then this was the other one that came in with the Vintage Libraries line, which is this gorgeous. It's called. Hi, Heather. The Vintage Library Textures one, and it is all a texture one, and I'm going to play with that tonight as well. And I'm going to play with some stencil butters tonight. Some of the new spring and summer line, which is really the colors are so gorgeous to play with. And tonight I thought that what I would journal about was why it's important for us to get into our craft studios. It's interesting over the last couple of weeks, I've had a lot of people coming in and saying how hard it is to make the time to get into our craft studios. And I think at this time of the year in particular, it gets harder. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. As the summer months come and it gets nice outside, we find more and more that the outside pulls us. And so we often don't make the time to get into our craft studios, or find ourselves doing that crafting time that we should be doing. We're doing outside work, we're doing gardening, we're going away on weekends if we have cottages. A lot of us, may have children that we're going to their events. I've got girlfriends who are spending every night of the week attending kids' events, doing things, and find it very hard to actually find the time to carve out to. Hi, Yvonne. To actually get into the rooms, or to even actually just um, Heather, you don't count. I don't have a life, so all I do is craft work. Your crafting is your day job. Crafting is your day job, unlike the rest of us. And that's a great idea, Carolyn. You put a few things together and you take it outside. Absolutely. And I should probably do more of that. I've got a great wraparound porch on my house. And I should probably do some more of that, going out, taking it out and doing it on the porch. And I don't. And I should probably do more of that. And I thought, as I was trying to come up with what list am I going to do this week? I thought, so let's talk about why is it so important to get into my craft studio? And I think for all of us, we know that there are reasons for doing this. Hi Liz, welcome. So, you know what? It's important to put it down into our journals so that we remind ourselves, and that it becomes this lovely, um, testament, almost a mantra that we can flip back to. So that's what I'm going to journal about tonight, and you can help remind me of things when I go to put it in here. So I'm going to start using this beautiful corners one, and oh great, I'm going to throw everything around here as I have it set up. I'm going to start by actually using some of the pixie spray on the stencil. It works nicely. So again, I'm using the Heidi Swapp journals. These are the Sail Away line. It's so pretty. It's really summery. And I find that the pixie spray, you just need a little bit. You don't need a lot on the back of the stencils. Works well on this line. It did not like the 49 and Market ones, okay? I'll tell you that right now. So I'm just going to put it down. I just sprayed a little bit. It is there on the back. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to grab, I've put down my mat there because I'm going to be working with stencil butter, and I find sometimes it's a little slippery. So I have some of this stuff. This is like cupboard stuff, and I find sometimes if I just put it underneath, it stops the slipping. So I'm using my Distress Oxides. I went in and looked at that. I noticed your message. Heather had put up a message saying that the new 49 and Market nature study is in, and that Dan worked very hard to get it all up into the system. So ladies, it is there for your purchasing and viewing pleasure. So I'm using Saltwater Taffy tonight because it seemed, which is a really pretty summer coral color. So I'm going to just do some colors here in the corner. In the corners. I just wanted to put a little bit of color because I'm going to do my horizontal lines for writing down in the corner. So I just wanted to add a little bit here. And I said I was going to play with some butter, and I'm going to add some more details with that. So I just want to do this here, and I'm going to do it here as well. And I'm just using a blender brush with this. I'm tucking it in the corner, and I'm not doing it overly hard. I'm just going to do it lightly. What are you doing with the new line, Heather? What are you playing with? You can't just say you're working with it. You have to tell us what you're working with. So that's what I'm going to do down in that corner. Just a little bit of color down there. And then I think across the top, I'm just going to take one of, let me see what I'm going to do. I think maybe I'll just add, oh, for some reason it decided to disappear and I couldn't see you guys there for a second. I'm just going to put a little filigree line across the top here, just to add something across the top. Something simple. And then on the other page, I am going to put this big one down here. across the bottom. So you notice I did not go back and spray again. Don't need to. There's enough spray on that page that I don't have to go back and do any more. I just lightly sprayed it, and that's good enough. If you put too much on, it will stick too much and it will tear your page. So you don't want to do that. And you kind of hold it back from your stencil and just kind of lightly spray. Working the line as well as I saw those new binders, and they kind of come in pieces, and they're kind of taller. I was looking at those going, oh, this is going to be interesting to see. Thank you, Heather, for popping all these little things in. The Pixie Spray. I love the Pixie Spray. It's especially great when you're working with really delicate stencils because they can be really difficult. Pull that off. And then it's got two little corners, these two little ones. So I'm just going to put one up here. Yeah, the saltwater taffy is kind of a pretty color too. It's kind of nice and summery. And I'll put one over here. Just like so. I'm not trying to be overly perfect here either, guys. Okay. There we go. That's done. All right. So that is that. Now I am going to take and I'm going to put my horizontal lines in. So this is my Pink Fresh horizontal lines one. This is my, I'm going to spray this one. This is my Steel, my Pink Fresh, $6.99. Still have them in the store, guys. Grab one of these. They're great for when you want to write in your journals, or they'd be great for doing page layouts and being able to do journaling on your page layouts. And I'm going to use antique linen for this. Yeah, it just washes off with water. So I am just going to, now this one I do find I have to be somewhat careful not to go over the edge, the two edges, because I can be known to fly back and forth a little bit. Because again, we're being creative. So what this is going to do is give me some yellow lines and some white lines. Thanks, Heather, for putting that up there. It's like having my own personal assistant. I was trying to figure out if there was a way ahead of the class that I could post those things, but there really isn't. Facebook doesn't let you do that. Oh, come on. It's not staying live, or it's not staying up there if I don't keep hitting the button. Okay. There's some lines. Now come over here and do it on this page. make sure that's centered properly so I don't have it crooked. I think that's centered. Yep. Probably not crossing my arms like that. There. This is a Heidi Swapp one. This is the one from the Sail Away collection. The paper is really nice and smooth. I like how everything that I work with seems to like the paper really nicely. I found I loved the 49 and Market ones, those journals as well, but the Pixie Spray did not like the 49 and Market paper. It would stick to it. This one seems to be to like it a little bit more, and to let me play with when I'm using the stencils on it. Okay, there we go. I like how I get the gradation when I'm doing that too. I kind of like that. I don't want it perfect. I want it to be kind of an ombre shade as I'm doing that. Okay, so now we're going to play. I am next going to take the textures one. And this is great because this is a pretty fine. It is thicker. Some of the Stamperia stencils are really, really fine. This one's made out of a little bit of the heavier material rather than the thinner one, which is nice because the particles inside don't break as easily or bend as easily. And the Pixie Spray is really great for this. So I'm just lightly spraying it. And I'm going to go down across this side. And I want to get kind of on an angle here. I'm just doing over here. And I am going to, where is my handy dandy purple masking tape? Because I don't want it down off the edge of the page. So I'm just going to mask it a little bit. So this is the purple highlighting tape. So I'm just going to use it to go down the side here. And I am going to use Seafoam, oh, can you see it? Seafoam stencil butter. So much fun. Such a beautiful color. And I'm using one of these, it's metal with a wooden handle. These were in the store. And I'm just going to use a very thin layer. And I'm just going to spread it. And it goes on like butter. I am wanting it to overlap. Oh, this color is gorgeous. And yes, the butters are so much fun. And these ones have such a pretty pearlescent color to them. This color is just luscious. and they dry so fast that it makes it great for the class and also for your journals. So I'm not using a lot here, and I do want it to and I am doing layers on what's underneath here. I think that's what we'll do. So I'm just putting the rest of that back into the tub. And I'm just peeling it up this side there. Now, I ran out of baby wipes right before the class. So I have a wet paper towel that I'm just wiping it off with, because I'm going to do this on the other side as well. Now, I'm fortunate enough that I actually have a sink in my craft studio. I have a full 2 sinks, running water, everything. So right after I would be finished these, I would just dump them right in my sink. But when I was playing with them earlier and trialing all this, I was actually just using baby wipes to wipe them all off. So I'm just getting them off enough so that I can actually just, as you can see, I got most of it off just by using the wet paper towel. I just want to pull the paper tape off because I'm going to use it again. I'm just going to tuck it over here. So you can see that the sticky stuff still works. I'm going to put the tape down here so that I don't go over too far. I'm just putting this down the edge so I don't get it all over the edge of my book. So clean it up off the mat over here. And do some more over here. I think that'll do it. I think that's what I want. Just looking to see if I missed anything here. Okay, a little bit of a reflection glare. Okay. Put the brush back in. Wipe my brush off. Ooh. Yeah, I've got the sink actually ready to go to just drop these right in. There we go. But actually, as I said, I just wiped most of it off with the paper towel. Or baby wipe. It came right off with the baby wipe as well. And they're going right into, just give me 2 seconds, I'm going to drop them right into the sink. know why it keeps going off tonight. I'm sitting here and it just keeps going, Facebook keeps closing up on me. All right, so now I'm going to take and just blow dry that. Just make sure that it all, because it dries really, really fast. Put the lid on my container. I have to say, I used the gold, what was that one called? The Champagne Gold one. Champagne Stardust butter, and it did stain one of my much finer Stamperia one stencils. These ones have not stained anywhere close to the same way. So it's really interesting. It must be something in the metallic of that champagne butter that is staining it that these other butters are not. Because I've had no staining on the stencils. And I'm actually using butters tomorrow night as well in my live tomorrow night. Yeah, that's true too. This is thinner, and it does spread a little more like butter actually. These ones are these ones are gorgeous. These ones are lovely. So these are the new ones that came out that just came in this summer. So this is the Seafoam stencil butter. Tomorrow night I'm going to use 3 or 4 more. I think it's 4 more that I'm using. So let me see. Yeah, that one's all dry. That one's all dry. So now, right in the middle, I'm going to take my Artsy Pants stencil from, this is from, oh, of course I just dropped it. It's Elizabeth Grant. And I'm going to put it right down the center. I know, I'm being extremely brave, aren't I? So that's straight. Maybe it needs to shift a little bit. Just a tad. And I'm going to, okay, something's not quite straight. I don't care. It's my journal. It can be whatever I want it to be. I'm going to use, oh, pages aren't straight up there, so of course nothing's going to look straight to you guys. I'm using Green Pear. And I'm actually going to use stencil butter with this. I tested this out to see how this would work. And I was really pleased that it actually did work. I didn't know if it would or not. If I could use stencil butter with words. Oh, and this is where got to be careful about going over the edges. You just want to throw this stuff on and throw it everywhere. These are such luscious colors. They're such great summer colors. So I'm making sure, because it is going over the crease, that I'm holding it down in the center to make sure that the letters closer to the center are getting proper coverage. Just because there's a bit of a gully in the center there. And if I get a little bit on the run over on the, or a little too much, it's mixed media, who cares? Just an opportunity for I love the saying on the stencil. It's all about us needing to create beautiful pages because we have the desire just to create. Okay. I think that does it. Okay, let's see. Throwing this into the water. A little goopier in some spots maybe, but overall pretty good. I got a little color around the edges where the stencil was in a couple of places, but I'm okay with that. That's what it is to be creative, right? Hi, Linda. And these have such pretty shimmer to them, right? I love the way these stencil butters just shimmer and dance and shine. And they're not really heavy. Sometimes when you do some of the other textures and things like that, the pages can be so heavy and then they end up crinkling up a lot. I'm using the Ranger Heated Craft Tool, by the way, guys, if you're wondering. It's not overly really loud. And it I find that it actually doesn't get so hot that you're worried about it burning pages or the temperature heating up so much. I've been through a few machines when I've been doing embossing and things as well. I've tried different ones along the way. I think because I've got it a little heavier in the middle, I just want to make sure that it's on there pretty good before I start. Needs a little bit more, I think. I wasn't sure how the butter was going to do using words. And so I was really pleasantly surprised to see that it worked so well. And I also was really interested to see how it would work across the middle of the page. And was really happy to see that I could actually do that too. It's pretty good. Okay. So now I'm going to start writing. So I think, can you guys see that now? How that's coming out? Okay. So, first of all, I'll put my date up here in the top. Today is June 12th, 2023. And I'm going to grab, I'm going to use one of these fancy dancy jelly rolls that came, I think this one was the Mindful collection. It was one of those ones that came in these sets of 3 with all the Moods collection. So this was one of the Mindful ones. I'm going to write in here, why is it important to get into my craft studio? That'll be my title. So I'm going to start writing. Yeah, they sold out so fast. And in fact, there were a couple of new colors I noticed that came in. Some extra ones that came back in. You guys got some extra, 2 new set colors actually. Okay. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to do the bullet in that color. So, it's an excuse to be alone. Excuse to be alone. And then I'm going to put another bullet here. It's art therapy. Another one here, and I think that's because it lets me work through my thoughts. And reflect on the day. It's supposed to be a reflect on the day. So I think many of you know I teach at Conestoga College. and I deal with international students. And I hear a lot of stories from my students, and today was no exception. I was dealing with a student who had shown up for the semester late, and I got the full story today of why she came to the semester late today. And I deal with some situations sometimes that are very traumatic for the students. So, and being in my studio lets me think about that and decompress. Um, it's a reason to drink coffee, eat cookies, and chocolate. I actually have a little Keurig machine in my craft room, my craft studio, and I have a fridge in my craft studio. Um, so that because I was doing virtual retreats like we all were during COVID, and was finding it was tough to get between during the retreats. I was hearing about other women that were actually having these things in their craft areas. I was thinking, oh my god, and candy. You're right, and candy. Put and candy. Um, and I thought, I need those things in here. Yes. Oh my gosh, it is so awesome. Let me tell you, Carolyn. I also have my office is actually the next room over, and I kind of go back and forth. So I have my computer in there most of the time, and I have my printers and things in there. So when I need to print things off, I go back and forth. And grabbing a coffee when I still actually teach one class online. Like tomorrow morning, I teach from 7 in the morning till 9 in the morning, my class. So sometimes I run in here and I'm actually doing a coffee in here on my break. Just because it's that much easier. Oh, I love candy too, ever since I was a kid. Yeah, I hear you, Heather. I hear you. I actually have little stashes in here that nobody else knows about. Yeah, which actually brings me to my next point about why we need to get into the craft room, because it's safer for other members of the family sometimes. For other family members sometimes. It's probably better than what might happen alternatively if we didn't have a craft room to go to. That's all I'm saying. Of course, it is fabulous for exploring new ideas and techniques. Um, as always, make cards and gifts for others. Isn't that what we do? We make things for other people in our craft rooms. That's what we're doing down here. When we're not hoarding supplies. We make beautiful things. That's what we do. It is an excuse to not do chores. He. Yes, craft room is your stress-free zone. It's not hoarding, it's collecting. And I've got some of those points in here too. It's an excuse not to do chores, but you know what? I actually, it's a way for me to get my laundry done. To get laundry done. So, laundry room is just at the top of the stairs, and I'll throw in a load of laundry, and then I'll come down here and I'll keep doing stuff, and then I'll go, okay, it's time to go up and throw it into the dryer and put the next load in, and I find I actually get my laundry done. I'm not saying it actually gets upstairs, it gets put away. I just actually get it done. Um, it's a way to procrastinate whatever needs to be done, like my marking. I don't want to do my marking, so I'll come over here. Um, it's you know what? In the summertime, it's a way to stay cool. My craft studio is in my basement, so it's a way to stay cool in the summertime. Cool in summer. It's great that way. Um, it's definitely, I mean, the big thing is, right, guys? It's a way to take time. Take time for take time for me. That's probably one of the biggest ones. Um, what I did think was that use my beautiful, beautiful supplies to make room for more new beautiful supplies, because there's always something new coming along that we want. Hee hee. So really, last message to me, so get in my craft room. That's right, it's not hoarding, it's collecting. And then I had a few stamped messages that I was going to put in here. I had two stamps sets. These are both Spellbinder ones that I had. One was from the Paint Your World Sentiments collection that went along with the paintbrush dies. And then this one was the We All Dance sentiments. And they both had some really great crafty sentiments on it that I'm going to use here just to finish off the pages. And I'm going to use my Distress Oxide and Peacock Feathers. And I'm just going to stamp them around the page. So, create happiness. I'm going to put that right there. This one is craftiness is happiness. This one says, create something every day. This one says, craft till you drop. This one says, create art. This one says, Happy Souls Craft. Okay. So, that is my 2 pages for tonight. Look at it shimmer and shine and dance. What do you think, guys? It's all dry. So it's important to get into our craft studios, guys. We need to remind ourselves of that. Create a page in your journal. Tell yourself why. You have your own reasons. You need to remind yourselves. We should probably all have this on a big wall in our rooms, and so that we can remind ourselves why it's important to be in here. And because we do need reminding, we have to make the time and not let it get away from ourselves, so that we can get in here and make that time for ourselves to stay sane and have some fun, play with some new things, try out some new things. So thanks for joining me tonight, guys. I'm back here tomorrow night. I'm going to be playing with some more butters. I'm going to be playing with a stencil. I'm going to be playing with some media boards. And so come join me. Come join me at 8 o'clock, and we will make some magic tomorrow night. So come and play some more with me. Okay? Thanks for joining me. Have a great night, guys. Enjoy your day tomorrow. And if you get a chance, come and see me tomorrow night. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day. Bye, guys.